Hi guys, welcome back to the GullyCricket Showdown. In our last video, we covered the India tour of Sri Lanka, so 3 T20Is down, and so far a good start for Gautam Gambhir's India. Mukul, you predicted that it might be a 3-0 series, and that's how it turned out to be. So, any surprises or observations that you made?
I actually thought it would be, like I said, 3-0. But I actually am surprised that Sri Lanka gave that much of a fight. To be honest, I didn't expect them to fight at all. I think the problem with Sri Lanka is what their coach also seemed disappointed, Jasuria, who I really admired back in the day. He used to play and he was very aggressive. He was one of those players who I enjoyed when he was batting because he was so aggressive. Usually Indian players, and they were not that aggressive. Like Sachin was there obviously, but I mean the Jasuria and Saeed Anwar, some of these players were on a different level altogether. So the Jasuria was one of the guy who I admired. So I think he was clearly disappointed, but I think it was his mindset that also got Sri Lanka to such close to these matches, especially yesterday's match, because I think they have forgotten how to win. That's a very big problem with any team. You see all the three matches, in all three actually, they were in a decent position and they just lost because they have forgotten how to win. So I think that's one of the mindset issue. But kudos to India and Sri Lanka also for how well they played.
It's more of a confidence issue coming in for Sri Lanka. But in the first game, Pathirana did play very well. He got 4 wickets for 40 runs in 4 overs. I think that's a great return for him, especially.
I think credit goes to Dhoni, obviously, for Thikshana and Pathirana. There is no. I don't think there is any doubt in anyone's head. A lot of credit for Thikshana and Pathirana should go to Mahendra Singh Dhoni, and he's a good bowler. He's very accurate and very fast also. Sometimes his line is not that great, but his length is mostly accurate. So yeah, I mean if you miss, he hits. That's kind of the deal,
I think speaking of surprise, I think last night's game, Rinku Singh and Surya Kumar Yadav having to bowl, and they did it well actually. They got some wickets as well with great economy.
That's where I think the mindset thing comes. See, to be honest, I think what that World Cup win has done for India, especially that kind of a match, not just the final match. You look at the Pakistan's match, you look even the US match for 15 over, it looked like India was struggling. Yeah. Then you look at the final match also. I think the only match which they won convincingly was against England in the semi-finals, to be honest. Yeah. Otherwise, all the matches they were wavering down here and there. So what it does, that confidence has done, is India has learned that we can win a match even if in a T20 match where 25 runs you need from 26 balls, and even if there are 6-7 wickets left, we can still win it from there. So that confidence what they got from the final, I think India is the opposite of Sri Lanka. They have gained extreme confidence that it's not over until it's over. And if we have won the World Cup from such a situation, then this is just a league match against Sri Lanka. So there is no pressure. So they just knew ball was spinning. So they just gave them the ball in slots. You hit if you can. And Sri Lankan batters obviously didn't use their brain. They were nervous. See, this shows their nervousness. If you need 9 runs in 12 balls and only 3 wickets are down, you can take easy singles. This is such a huge ground. But they were just hitting the balls and getting caught on boundaries. That just made no sense at all. Even a player like me who play on turfs can realize that the ultimate goal is to win a match. You don't have to win it by hitting a 6. But they were just nervous. That what if 4 runs are remaining and 3 balls are remaining? What if we land in such a situation? So might as well hit 1 6 and get the game done with. But in that, to do that, they just lost all the wickets. So that's where they lost the match.
Yeah. So speaking of the next set of matches, obviously we'll get 3 ODIs now, and the big hitters are back, and Rohit and Virat will be playing in this one hopefully. So what are your expectations going forward in this series?
I just want, I realized when these people were not playing that how much cricket is not interesting when these people are not playing, to be honest with you. I don't think many people saw these matches, like, you know, and I don't know if I should say this, but it reflected in our contest entries also. Like, you know, if people are not watching that match, it obviously they just don't play also. So it just overall interest was not that great. Like, you know, if even this young Indian team was playing against Australia or England, or in a one-off match against Pakistan, then people might see that. But against Sri Lanka, it's just a normal team. Like, people were not that interested in watching that. The ODI series is only interesting because these two biggies are there, and I don't know how many matches they will play, but I assume at least Rohit will play. Like, you know, at least one of them will play every match. Like, you know,
All three,
so
yeah.
that will be enough. That will be enough. So I think, yeah, I mean, just preparing ourselves for the future, I guess. Down the line, couple of years down the line, they won't be here. Like, you know, so we need to. I think the same era will come back where Sachin left cricket, and, like, you know, I personally stopped watching it, and then few years down the line, like Virat, all of a sudden, I remember there was a match against Australia or like Sri Lanka only, where he just went nuts, and I was like, you know, well, time to start watching again, I guess, you know. So I think someone down the line will take their place, but it doesn't seem like it's here yet, like, you know.
Yeah,
so we'll see.
With great following comes great viewership as well in these matches, especially.
I think that's the only reason I said in the previous video also. That's the only reason they are playing. I don't think it's because of Gambhir or whatever. I think they need money, and they're like, you had enough rest. You just come. Even if you play like one match, you just come. That's enough.
Yeah. Again, speaking of fantasy picks, we just discussed Pathirana in that first match where he took 4 wickets. Anyone else that stood out to you in these matches?
I think Washington Sundar, as I mentioned before, also Washington Sundar getting picked in all matches, and, like, you know, he's playing, like, you know, in ODI and T20 match. That's a big plus. So I think that's good. That's a good sign. Washington Sundar and Ravi Bishnoi have been really, really good.
Yeah, so in the ODIs, again, Sanju Samson got his chance, but he couldn't make the most of it. 5 balls faced in last 2 matches, 0 runs. I think that's a very poor display for him.
Yeah, you can discount him on yesterday's match because the pitch was tough, but the second match he just threw away his wicket. He just didn't know how to play Thikshana, and from his hand, that's not a good sign.
Yeah, so for these ODIs, I think you will have to pick these big hitters again, Rohit and Virat. They always seem to perform.
Rohit and Virat, if they're playing in an ODI match, you cannot seem to miss them. Especially, like I'm telling you, we'll see in the matches, but this win, I think they have taken a huge mental pressure off from their head, like, you know, and the kind of form Rohit Sharma was in with that pressure. Imagine now that pressure is gone from his head. What will he do now? Like, you know, so yeah, I mean, both of these players are, like, you know, greats. They have done their part. They don't need to prove anything to anyone now. So yeah, I mean, they have won a cup also. So I guess they'll just play their natural game, and their natural game is very dangerous. So, you know,
I think that was very important as well, because coming second in the World Test Series, in the World Cup, and then finally crossing the line and winning that trophy, I think that's going to relieve a lot of pressure. So I don't think you can miss out on either of these two going forward in these matches. Again, what about your prediction then? Because the other day you said 3-0 and it turned out to be 3-0. More of the same, or do you think Sri Lanka gets a game or two?
Yeah, no, I think Sri Lanka is a better T20 side, to be honest. So I think in the ODIs they don't have that big of a chance. Like Pathirana, Thikshana, you know, these people are T20 bowlers, to be honest. Dhoni himself, who trained Pathirana, has told Sri Lankan board and, like, you know, their selectors that this guy is a T20 player. If you force him to play ODIs or something else, you will destroy his T20 game also. I don't think Pathirana will get play all the matches. If he does, I think that's not a good sign from the board and on himself. The only chance Sri Lanka has is, like, if they pick a pitch like yesterday, like, you know, a very spinning pitch, and then they spin India out of the game. That's the only chance. Otherwise, if it's a normal batting pitch or decent pitch, I think it's going to be very hard for Sri Lanka to win.
Yeah. Okay. Right. That's it for us, guys. Do like the video and subscribe to our channel for more videos like this. And we'll see you in the next one.